In the ever-evolving landscape of music, where fame is fleeting and artists often come and go, there emerges every so often a figure so magnetic, so raw, so transcendent, that they leave an indelible mark on the soul of a generation. One such figure is D'Angelo. A gifted prodigy from Richmond, Virginia, D'Angelo didn't just create music. He created moments. Moments that stirred the heart, challenged convention, and whispered truths too deep for words. With a voice that felt like velvet wrapped in vulnerability, and an artistry that defied genre, he became a legend almost overnight. But just as the world leaned in, craving more, D'Angelo disappeared. No dramatic exit, no closing act, just silence. What followed were years of speculation, myth-making, and a growing sense of awe. Who was this man who redefined soul and then retreated from it? Why did he step away when he was at the top? This is not just a story about music, this is the mystery of D'Angelo. In the mid-1990s, the music world was stunned by the arrival of a young man from Richmond, Virginia. His name, Michael Eugene Archer. But the world would come to know him by another name, D'Angelo. With his 1995 debut album, Brown Sugar, D'Angelo didn't just enter the music scene, he reshaped it. Blending smooth vocals, deeply layered instrumentation, and raw emotion, Brown Sugar was a revolution. It wasn't just neo-soul, it was church, jazz, funk, and vulnerability poured into a glass and served over ice. Critics were quick to label him the heir to Marvin Gaye or Prince. But there was something different about D'Angelo. He wasn't trying to be a star. He wanted to be an artist. And therein lies the beginning of the mystery. Despite his commercial success and critical acclaim, D'Angelo was notoriously private. He shied away from press, interviews were rare, and public appearances even rarer. Still, in 2000 he returned with an album that would define his legacy, Voodoo. It was dark, sensual, and experimental. Songs like Untitled, How Does It Feel, catapulted him to sex symbol status, but instead of embracing the fame, it broke him. Behind the scenes, the D'Angelo the world saw, a chiseled, shirtless icon, was a man quietly unraveling. In multiple interviews, his collaborators would later reveal that the immense pressure to maintain his image took a toll. As the media focused more on his body than his craft, D'Angelo became increasingly uncomfortable. Touring became a nightmare. Fans expected him to recreate the video version of himself, screaming for him to strip during live shows. He wanted to be heard, not objectified. The spotlight, once a dream, had become a curse. And so, D'Angelo walked away. No announcement, no farewell, just silence. But the silence wasn't peaceful. D'Angelo descended into a period of intense struggle. Fame had become a prison. The expectations weren't just overwhelming, they were dehumanizing. He turned to alcohol and began withdrawing from those closest to him. Questlove, one of his closest collaborators, spoke about how D'Angelo's battles behind the scenes were harrowing. The man who brought spiritual depth back to soul music was now facing a spiritual crisis of his own. Years passed. Rumors spread like wildfire. Was he recording in secret? Was he battling addiction? Some claimed he was wandering the streets of Richmond, unrecognizable. Others said he'd gone to rehab or joined a religious group or was lost in depression. The truth was more complex. In the early 2000s, D'Angelo was indeed struggling with alcohol, with his mental health, with the crushing weight of fame. Multiple arrests, including one for driving under the influence and possession, made headlines. In 2005, he survived a near-fatal car crash in Powhatan County, Virginia. That moment, many say, was a wake-up call. But even these moments were few and far between. D'Angelo had become a ghost, a once golden talent who had vanished. And yet, even in his absence, the legend grew. Artists from Questlove to Erykah Badu, from John Mayer to Kendrick Lamar, all pointed to D'Angelo as a foundational influence. He became a mythological figure, a reminder of what could have been and perhaps what still might be. Fans clung to every rumor, every leaked demo, every whisper of a return. It wasn't just about the music anymore. D'Angelo represented something deeper, a kind of purity, a resistance to the commercial machinery that chews up and spits out artists. He had become the soul of soul music, even in exile. Then, after nearly 14 years of silence, in December 2014, it happened. Without any major promotion or announcement, D'Angelo dropped his third studio album, Black Messiah. The timing was no accident. Just days after the non-indictment in the Ferguson case sparked protests across America, Black Messiah became a cultural moment. The album was raw, political, funky, and furious. It was everything fans hoped for and more. It was as if D'Angelo had been silently absorbing the world's pain and now he was ready to speak. Songs like The Charade, 1,000 Deaths, and Till It's Done weren't just music, they were movements. Once again, D'Angelo had changed the game. The album was met with critical acclaim, winning a Grammy and topping countless year-end lists. But the release wasn't just about accolades, it was about reclaiming identity, about confronting demons, about proving that you can disappear and still return with something timeless. But even this triumphant return didn't bring him back into the public eye. He performed a handful of times, appeared in rare interviews, but then, once again, retreated into the shadows. As of now, over a decade since Black Messiah, D'Angelo's presence remains elusive. So, the question remains, why does D'Angelo keep disappearing? Some argue that it's the mark of a true artist, someone so deeply connected to their work that the world outside feels intrusive. Others see it as trauma, a response to the damage caused by sudden fame and constant objectification. Then there are those who believe D'Angelo is still searching for something, musically, spiritually, personally. The truth is, D'Angelo may not fit into the boxes that the industry has created. He doesn't release albums on a schedule, he doesn't do viral TikToks or tweet cryptic hints. His relationship with fame is complicated, and maybe that's the point. In a world where music is often consumed and forgotten in minutes, D'Angelo reminds us what it means to take time, to craft, to suffer for the sake of truth. His silences aren't empty, they're intentional. Each one is a breath, a pause, a moment of reflection before something meaningful is said. Many fans still hold out hope for a fourth album. There have been whispers, a sighting here, a studio rumor there. In 2021, D'Angelo returned for a one-night-only Versus event, reminding everyone that the fire still burns. The performance was soulful, unpolished, and powerful, and just like that, he was gone again. But maybe that's the essence of D'Angelo. He arrives like a storm, shakes the ground beneath us, and disappears into the mist. He's not here to entertain us on demand, he's here to awaken something deeper. And in doing so, he's joined a rare lineage. Artists like Sly Stone, Lauryn Hill, and even Miles Davis. Figures who defied the industry, who refused to be caged, who spoke when it mattered and vanished when it didn't. Whatever the future holds, one thing is clear. D'Angelo's impact isn't measured by charts or social media presence. It's felt in the heartbeats of those who listened and understood, in the silence that follows his notes, in the ache of a soul that recognizes its own story in his voice. Because maybe, just maybe, the mystery is the message. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the soul, silence, and mystery of D'Angelo, we invite you to like, subscribe, and share this video with fellow music lovers who appreciate the deeper layers of artistry. D'Angelo's story isn't just about albums or fame, it's about identity, pressure, legacy, and the price of genius. His journey raises questions that go beyond music. What does it mean to be truly seen? Can an artist protect their soul in an industry that constantly demands more? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think D'Angelo's retreat was a form of self-preservation, or was it a necessary silence, to let the music speak louder than the man ever could. Drop your theories, reflections, and favorite D'Angelo tracks in the comments below. Because in the end, the mystery of D'Angelo isn't just his, it's ours to interpret, feel, and honor. Until next time, stay soulful.